Good morning. I am Kat and we are going to be doing a 30-minute gentle adapted yoga session. If you have a chair, that is really the only prop you need. If you have a yoga strap and a block, that is something that can be supportive, but you don't need it. So to start, I want you to come forward on your chair. So sit with just the pelvis on the seat of the chair and bring your hands to the hips. We're just going to rock a little bit back and forth, warming up the spine, warming up the hips. So first I want you to lean back slightly, tilt the pelvis, and roll towards the back edge of your sits bones. Just take a breath here, and then come forward, come back to sitting up straight, shoulders over the hips, and now we're going to tilt forward. So arch the back, lift the chest, roll forward onto your sits bones, and then taking a breath here, just feeling where you are on that chair, and then come back to center. Okay. So I just want to show you that from the side. So again, when you roll back, you're rounding the spine, leaning back, tilting the pelvis back. And then as you come up, we come through straight, and then lifting the chest, arching the spine, leaning forward, coming forward onto the front edge of the sits bones. All right, so we're going to do that a few times with the breath. So starting with a nice slow inhale. On your exhale, lean back, curving the spine. Exhale, exhale, and then on your inhale, come forward and up, lifting. At the end of that inhale, you should be all the way forward, lifting the chest, and then exhale back. We're going to do this 3 more times. So exhale back. Good. Inhale forward, work with your own breath, so don't force it, just move your body at your pace. Exhaling back. That's number 2. And then inhaling forward, lift. And exhaling back. We're going to do one more inhale here with the movement. And coming back to center. Inhale up. You can even look up a little bit. And then exhale, just come back to seated, centered on your chair. So you should feel like the shoulders are nice and balanced over the hips, not leaning forward and back, and you have a good connection with the seat of the chair. Then, we're going to do a shoulder opener next, so bring the hands down by the sides, and this would be mountain pose or Tadasana, seated in the chair. Your knees are straight out from your hips, your ankles are directly underneath your knees. We're going to do bound fingers, so bring the arms forward of the shoulders, interlock the fingers down to the web, reverse the palms away from you and straighten the arms. Pull the thumbs and the little fingers back towards you, opening the palms, and then bring the arms up alongside the ears, pressing up towards the ceiling, lifting up through the whole side body. So feel those arms really allow the torso to lift and lengthen, stretch up, pulling the arms back alongside the ears, and press the palms towards the ceiling. Good. Take another breath here. And then unlace the fingers gently, stretch the arms out to the side, reaching towards either side, and bring the arms all the way back down. You take a breath here. And then we're going to do the opposite clasp of the fingers. So Bring the arms forward and just without thinking, clasp your hands again. This is how you usually clasp your hands. I want want you to take the fingers over one, so the opposite index finger is on top, and then again reverse the palms. It might feel a little strange, and straighten the elbows again. Roll the shoulders back and down, lift the chest. Make sure you're still seated firmly on the chair, not tilting forward or back, and then reach the arms up again alongside the ears. Press up towards the ceiling. Lift up through the side waist, the side ribs, the armpits, the shoulders, the elbows, all the way to the palms of the hands. Draw those upper arms back alongside the ears. Breathing here. Lift again, and then gently unlace the fingers and reach the arms out and down. Okay, so now we're going to do some other poses seated in the chair. So this one's going to be triangle pose, Utthita Trikonasana. I want you to take your right leg over to the right and have a 90-degree angle between your two thighs. Take your right hand to the inside of the right knee, your left hand to your left hip. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, twist to the left. So you're bringing your torso to sit straight forward in the chair. Keep that right knee back. And then first stage of this, you're going to reach out over your right leg, extend to the right, and then bring your elbow to your knee. Now, pull the knee back with your elbow and turn the right ribs forward, the left ribs back, roll the left shoulder back. You can stay here or go on by reaching your right hand towards your right foot and reaching your left arm straight up. Press the arms back, lift the chest, turn. Breathe here. Opening across the chest, pressing that right arm and leg into each other and turning the torso. Take another breath here and pull yourself up. Good. Coming back to seated upright, bring that right leg in and bring that left leg out. I'm going to move my blocks there for a moment. Take your left leg to the left hand to the inside of the left knee, right hand to the right hip. Inhale, lift. Exhale, twist. Reach that left arm out over the left leg. Lengthen the body out over the leg and then bring the elbow to the knee. Draw the knee back with the elbow. Turn the left ribs forward, the right ribs back. Roll that right shoulder back. So you can stay here resting your elbow on your knee, or you can reach for that inner foot and reach your right arm straight up. Press the left arm back into the left leg. Open across the chest. Breathing here. Feel that length along your right side ribs and along the left side ribs as well. Taking another breath here. Pull yourself up with that right arm and bring your left leg forward. Okay, the next pose we're going to do is extended side angle, again seated in the chair. You're going to take the legs to the same position. So right leg comes out to the right, left leg points straight forward still. You want to do a 90-degree between the two legs. If you want to go a little bit deeper than just 90 degrees, you can walk this left foot a little bit farther away, increasing the strength, the stretch on the inner groin. Now, if you have a block, you can use it for this pose. You don't have to. I'm going to show with the block at the medium height. So, right hand is at the right knee, left hand is at the left hip. Inhale, lift, exhale, twist. Reach out over your right leg, extend out over the leg, and then bring your hand down to the block. If you're not using a block, you can go all the way to the floor, or again, use the knee with your elbow to rest there. So wherever you are, you can now take your left arm, stretch it to the left, and make sure you have a lot of space between the ears and the shoulders. So draw the shoulder blades away from the head, and then swing that left arm forward, up, alongside the ear, and turn. Maybe look up past that left arm, looking past the inner arm, and lengthen more through that left side. Breathe here. The right arm and leg should be pressing against one another, or elbow into the knee. If you're using a block, that block is right next to the foot, touching it. And then reach your left arm straight up. You can grab onto that block, pull yourself up. Good. And bring that right leg forward. Second side. Make sure you're forward and centered on your chair still. Take that left leg to the left. If you're using a block, you're going to put it right in front of the foot. Again, you can use the block high, medium, low, or not at all. Left hand to the inside of the left knee, right hand to the right hip. Inhale, lift. Exhale, twist. Feel that turn. If you want to feel a little bit more stretch through the inner groins, you can walk that right foot over to the right more. Or you can keep it pointing straight forward. Reach your left arm over your left leg, extend the spine over the leg, and bring your hand down to the block, the floor, or rest your elbow on your knee. Turn. Stretch your right arm away from your right ear. Lengthen the back of the neck, shoulders away from the ears. And swing that right arm forward, up and alongside the ear. Turn to look up past that right arm, or you can continue to look straight forward. Keep pressing the left arm and leg against one another and turning the spine. Left ribs forward, right ribs back. And reach that arm straight up again, grabbing onto the block. Come up and come back to center with those legs. You can stash that block underneath the chair for now. And we're going to move on to Warrior One in the chair, Virabhadrasana 1. So for this one, you're going to turn sideways in the chair. So I want you to turn to the right side first. And for this one, you're going to scoot all the way back in the chair. So you're going to take your right arm, hold on to the back of the chair, and scoot back in the chair. So your knees and feet are right by the side of the chair. Your sacrum, the base of the spine, is right on the other side of the chair. Then you're going to slide to your left so that the left leg comes off the chair. And drop your left knee down. Okay? If you get a cramp in your foot or your hamstring, you can always come out for a moment, curl the toes under. That should help. Then I want you to take your left knee here and move it so that it is straight down underneath your hip, or if you can, take it back even farther so the knee is behind the hip. And you should feel a nice stretch through the front of your thigh and hip. So this is great for people who have been sitting in a chair for a long period of time or doing driving. It really opens the hip flexors. Turn this left hip towards the right wall. You're holding on firmly with your right arm and reach your left arm up alongside the ear. Pull the tailbone in, that's the very base of your spine. Lift the chest, draw the abdomen slightly in and up. And then if you'd like, you can turn the head to look up past the left hand. Breathe here. Continue to pull the tailbone in and draw the abdomen back, keeping the low back long. Feel that nice stretch through the left thigh, front of the thigh, front of the hip, and maybe up into the abdomen. And then bring the head forward, the arm down, bring your left leg in, and we're going to turn around and do that on the opposite side. So, turning all the way around in your chair, slide back. Now you've got your left arm to the back of the chair. You're going to slide to the right and drop that right foot down, moving slowly and eventually getting that right knee below the hip or behind. Turn that right hip so it's facing the left wall. Tailbone moves in, abdomen draws slightly in and lifts up. So you're lifting up through the sideways, lifting up through the front, keeping that low back nice and long. And then reach your right arm up alongside the ear. Stretch the right arm and the leg away from each other. And then if it feels good on your neck, keeping the back of the neck long, you can look up past that right arm. Keep turning that right hip forward, drawing the tailbone in, lifting the abdomen in and up, lift the chest, and find that stretch through the right side, front of the body. And bringing the head forward, bring the arm down, and bring the leg in and turn back to the front. All right, that is our seated portion of the yoga session. We're going to stand now and do a few poses using the chair for support standing. So first, I want you to come to a position where the back of your chair is facing you. And if you put your block underneath your chair, get it out of the way. Okay, so we're going to do 90-degree stretch here. Hands to the back of the chair, walk your feet back so you're making a 90-degree angle with your legs and your spine. Look straight down at the floor. Make sure your toes are lined up, even with each other, pointing straight ahead. Lift up through the kneecaps and press the thighs back away from the chair. Lengthen through the shoulders, let the chest release towards the floor. So here you may be feeling a stretch in the calf muscles, in the backs of the thighs. You may feel a little bit of grip in the front of the shins. And then length through the spine and an opening at the front of the shoulders. Taking another breath here. This is a great stretch for lengthening the hamstrings and calves. You can do it anywhere there's a nice flat surface, a chair, a table, a kitchen counter. And then lift the shoulders and step forward. We're going to come into much the same position, but with our hands on the seat of the chair. So turn your chair around. Hands to the seat of the chair now, and you're not pushing into the front of the chair, but your hands are just resting on the top of the chair for balance on the chair seat, and walk your feet back again, just so that the feet are underneath the hips. So ankle to hip, a nice perpendicular line to the floor, and stretch here. So a little more stretch through the legs, a little more stretch through the shoulders. And lifting the shoulders up, you're going to turn your left toes out to the side. And they're still pointing towards the chair mostly, but they're a little bit out to the side. And you're going to step your right foot forward underneath the seat of the chair, 2 straight legs. So if you're not all the way underneath the chair, that's fine, but try to keep the legs straight to find this stretch. So wherever you are here, I want you to take this left hip and turn it towards the chair. Your right hip moves away from the chair. Elbows are straight to start. If you're already getting a strong stretch, especially in the back of the left calf and the front of the ankle there, you can stay here. If you'd like to go further, you're going to walk your hands to the back edge of the chair and lower your elbows to the seat of the chair, looking straight down towards the seat of the chair. All right, press back into that left heel, turn that left hip forward. Keep the ball of the right big toe connected to the floor. Lift up through the right kneecap and straighten that leg. Pull that right hip back away from the chair. And then lengthen the spine forward, moving the sternum, the breastbone, away from the hips. And then straighten the arms if they were bent. Walk the hands to the front edge of the chair and step your right foot back. Turn both toes, or all 10 toes, forward, both feet forward. And stretch back, hips over the heels. So we're going to do that on the second side. So now turn your right toes slightly out to the side. Step your left foot forward. If you can get it underneath the chair, you're going for underneath the chair. If not, you might be a little bit farther back. That's fine, but have your legs straight. Press into that right heel. Turn the right hip forward. Keep the ball of the left foot connected to the floor, but take this left hip back away from the chair. Keep the spine nice and long and straight. You can stay here with your elbows straight, or walk your hands to the far edge of the chair and lower your elbows to the chair. Looking straight down at the chair seat. Press into that right foot again. Right heel, right outer foot presses down. Turn the right hip forward. Press the ball of the left big toe into the floor and pull up through the kneecap, pull up through the thigh. Move that outer left hip back. And then notice if you have rounded the spine a lot here, try to make that spine nice and flat. Feel how that goes into the stretch of your legs, intensifying that stretch. So move the spine into the body. And then straighten the arms, walk the hands back, and once more step back, toes point forward, hips over the heels, stretch there. Notice if there's more flexibility in your hamstrings and calves now. And then lift the shoulders and walk forward and come all the way up to standing. Okay, so we're going to either sit or lie down on the floor or sit in the chair. So if you're not comfortable lying all the way down on the floor for a little bit of breath awareness, you can simply sit in your chair. So if you're going to sit in your chair, you're going to sit all the way back in the chair now so that you're supported, and just rest your hands on your thighs, roll the shoulders back and down. And if you're comfortable closing your eyes here, you will do that. If you can get down on the floor, you're going to move your chair to the side. Get yourself a blanket for support, or a pillow if you don't have a blanket nearby. But you just want to give yourself a little bit of height for the head. And lying down on the floor, if you're comfortable doing that, palms up, resting here. So you're going to be in either of those two positions and do some breath work. You're also welcome to, if you're lying down or in the chair, to rest your hands on your abdomen to feel the breath. And close the eyes. And let your attention rest on the soft, easy inhale and exhale of your breath. Notice where the breath moves in the body. Easiest to feel it in the abdomen, in the chest. As you become aware of the sensations of the breath moving, can you expand that awareness to the shoulders, to the hips, feeling how the breath affects the whole body. And maybe allowing that awareness to extend all the way to your hands and feet, to the crown of the head, feeling the breath flow through the whole body. And then begin to notice the length of your inhale and the length of your exhale. Without trying to change or control the breath, just observe. Is your inhale longer? Is your exhale longer? Or are they about the same? Again, we're not trying to force the breath to be even or longer or shorter. We're just noticing what the pattern of our breath is right now. Take a few more breaths, just observing. And after your next inhale, begin to lengthen your exhale. So, soft, easy inhale, longer, slower exhale. Don't let any tension come into your throat, into your eyes. Just slow, lengthen, pause that exhale before taking an inhale. And with each exhale, let the body relax more. With each exhale, let the breath move farther through the body, all the way to the surface of the skin. Take a few more long exhales here. Throat soft, eyes quiet. And then release that control of the breath. Coming back to normal inhale and exhale. If you're lying on the floor, you can bend your knees, extend your right arm by your right ear, roll onto your right side, resting your head on your arm. And then use your hands and arms to push yourself up. Try not to kick your chair. If you are seated in the chair, just gently open the eyes. Wherever you are, lift the chest. Roll your shoulders back and down. Bring the palms together in front of your heart. The light in me acknowledges the light in you. Namaste. Thank you for joining me for this 30-minute yoga session. We will be doing this every morning at 8 a.m. Pacific time on this Facebook page. Thank you.